Happening right now in Oakland, a group of activists is rallying outside of A's headquarters, demanding the team's owner financially commit to improving the community as part of the Howard Terminal project. We're going to take you out there now live.
To love Oakland. So we're here today to make sure that Oakland, the love of Oakland, is where it's at. See, when you say something, you got to have actions behind it. I need an amen with that one. Amen. All right? So when we say our town, our terms, we want community benefit agreements that speak to the people, the town of Oakland, affordable housing, great jobs, a clean environment, clean air. We say what? Our town? Our town? Our town? Our town? Yes. So without further ado, let's get started.
Could you give us your name again and spelling?
So my name is Minister Sherry Murphy, so it's Cherry Murphy. I also like to say, and I want to make sure that we set the premise of why we're here. The Oakland United, a coalition of community-based organizations and unions, have been fighting for over 5 years to ensure that any stadium development in Oakland truly benefits the community with affordable housing, good jobs for local residents, and environmental protections. Despite many hours of meetings, the A's owners, the Fishers, have yet to make a concrete community benefits commitment that would ensure Oakland residents get what they need from this project. The Fishers, who are the 26th largest landowner in the country and one of the wealthiest families in the U.S., are trying to get the city of Oakland, the people of Oakland, the ones who love Oakland, to foot the bill for affordable housing that they should be providing as a part of this project. And up until now, we are just hearing from people who are for this Howard Terminal development, while the voices of many residents and community leaders have been ignored. If we listen to the community, if we listen with the ears of love, we would see that there is a third way forward, a path for this project to create affordable housing and a living wage opportunity for Oaklanders. A way for this project to advance racial equity in concrete terms. Our town? Our town? So if done right, the Howard Terminal development has the potential to provide opportunities for Oakland, our town, by providing Union Stadium jobs, creating good jobs, generating additional affordable housing, ensuring resources for tenant protections and healthy environment. To guarantee this, though, we need community benefit agreements. Can you say community benefit agreements? Community benefit agreements. Let's make sure that the development understands that term too, and make sure we can have them say that. The next step for this is for Oakland City Council to approve a term sheet that requires John Fisher to commit to a community benefits agreement that invests in Oakland's people, not just real estate, but the town of Oakland. Yes. So next, let's hear from two community leaders from Oakland United. We'll first have up is Ms. Daphne Lamb, a resident leader with East Bay Housing Organizations, and she'll be followed by Kayla Mathis, who works with Oakland Youth from Urban Peace Movement. Give them some love, everybody.
Thank you. Excuse me, we need you to move up to the mic. Everybody's hooked up there.
Oh, okay.
When you come up, start talking, could you give us your name and spelling so we know how to...
Oh, okay. Good morning. My name is Daphne, D-A-P-H-I-N-E, Lamb, L-A-M-B, hyphenated Perrelliat, P-E-R-R-I-L-L-I-A-T. I am here this morning and representing as an advocate for affordable housing. My purpose for this advocacy is to make sure it is understood that housing is a human right.
Yes.
We are here this morning to make our voices heard concerning the development of Howard's terminal and the intentions of the A's. As I understand, the A's have expressed their desires and intentions of this development. Unfortunately, many of their desires and intentions are not parallel with the concerns of the people who are residents in the community where the A's plan to develop Howard terminals. The affordable housing is the criteria. What we do know, they have not expressed community benefits relevant to what we as a community would like to have included in this development that will focus on affordable housing. The A's is not committed to community benefits that includes 35% minimum affordable houses included in this development. The A's should not be exempt from financial supporting and development of affordable housing in the Howard's Terminal Development Agreement. Yes. The A's must commit to supporting resources for tenant protection that will prevent displacement of current residential occupants of West Oakland. The A's must commit to housing sustainability to low, very low, and medium income. It appears as if the A's are willing to profit from our community versus invest in the sustainability of our community, which is the development of affordable housing. Housing is a human right. Yes! I say, you say, housing is a human right. I say, you say, housing is a human right. I say, you say, housing is a human right. Housing is a human right. And we are, as a community, we are making these demands for the A's to make it so that our community is a sustainable community for people who are housed, unhoused, working folks, and the low to very low income and medium income folks. Thank you.
Yeah! Come on, A's, do it right.
That's it.
Good morning. My name is Kayla Mathis, K-A-I-L-A, last name Mathis, M-A-T-H-I-S. I work with Urban Peace Movement. We wield leadership in Oakland to transform the conditions that lead to violence and mass incarceration in our communities. That means changing economic conditions in our neighborhoods and holding developers accountable for the creation of living wage jobs and affordable housing for youth and families is a big part of what we do. The Howard Terminal Project will have a major impact on the Black, Asian, and Latinx youth that we work with who are living in West Oakland and East Oakland. And it's up to us to make sure that it's a positive impact. If this project is done wrong, like what the A's owner John Fisher is proposing right now, it will continue to gentrify Oakland's flatland neighborhoods and make it unlivable. But if John Fisher commits to real community benefits, 35% affordable housing, resources for tenants, environmental protections, living wage jobs, and hiring from the community, we can see both the A's and long-term residents stay rooted here in Oakland. If this project is going to benefit Oakland youth of color and help break cycles of urban violence and criminalization, the A's need to commit to local targeted hiring from the community. This project should help people who have been shut out of the economy and discriminated against to get to good living wages jobs. There will be thousands of jobs on this project in both construction and operations. Many of them will be union jobs. We want to make sure at least 50% of the jobs at Howard Terminal go to people living in West Oakland, Chinatown, and East Oakland. There should be a high priority for the most marginalized Oaklanders, including youth getting out of the foster care, homeless people, people on aid, single parents, and formerly incarcerated people. There should be fair chance hiring on the whole project to make sure formerly incarcerated Oaklanders can get access to these jobs, and bosses can't discriminate against people with a record. If we're going to make our local hire a reality, we also need the A's to chip in money for workforce development to help local people get the skills they need to get these jobs. This is our town, and development needs to be on our terms. If the A's want to build here, they need to commit to investing in our community. Our town, our terms.
All
Thank you so much, everybody. Out-town! 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 Thank you so much. You spoke very true to that if we have bad corporate developments, that it affects some neighborhoods and some communities more than others. And we've learned about bad policy decisions that affect Black and brown communities. I'm in a position, and I would offer that I want to be in a position to make new mistakes, not the same old mistakes that continue to hurt communities, vulnerable communities, time and time again. So I'm happy to be in solidarity. We are happy to be in solidarity with our allies in the Oakland China Coalition, who have been voicing concerns about how this project will affect pedestrian safety, transportation, and small businesses in Chinatown. We're going to hear from two allies in the Oakland Chinatown Coalition. First, Stanley Pugh, co-director of APOW, Building API Community Power, along with Tommy Wong, co-director of Good Eat. Show him some love.
How loud do I have to talk? Is this good? Closer to the mic. The little mics. All right, that's fine. For sure, I'll do my best. And I'm saying my name first. Stanley Pun, Stanleypun. Do I go now? For sure. For sure. I'm just going to introduce myself first. So, hello, my name is Stanley Pun. I'm a co-director with APOW, Building API Community Power, out here in Oakland's Chinatown, and also repping the Chinatown Coalition. We are made up of 15 community-serving organizations supporting the community in health, housing, faith, and more. Youth services as well. Our group serves thousands of folks every day, immigrant and refugee families and youth, that utilize Chinatown as a resource hub. I was born and raised in Oakland, Chinatown. My family has deep roots and connection in Chinatown, as it was the first place my grandparents could find housing and work as refugees coming from Laos. My family's first apartment was the low-income housing apartments over at Frank G. Marr when it was first built in 1989. And my mom found employment in Chinatown with the community organization, and that's also where she got her education over at Lane College. Oakland's Chinatown is unique, that it's not just a tourist neighborhood. It is a fully functioning Chinatown, an active hub, my bad, for community where folks live, work, come to run daily errands, get resource support in housing, health, mental health, all sorts of things. We have a bilingual school, multilingual libraries, and I spent most of my childhood in Chinatown. It's one of the few neighborhoods where Asian immigrants and refugees can continue to live, work, and build community in the languages that they speak and find support that they need. John Fisher's plan to build a stadium with hotel, retail, office space, and over 3,000 luxury condos is going to have a huge, deep impact on Chinatown and the surrounding community and Oakland more broadly. We need to make sure that this development doesn't cause more displacement to our communities. The young folks that I work with are deeply concerned about their ability to stay in Oakland, a town that they've grown up in and grown to love. For the A's Corporation and really any new development in Oakland, we need to make sure that there's at least 35% affordable housing on site, and also need to make sure that the corporations are contributing to anti-displacement funds to address the ripple effects of their development.
Yes.
In planning for the stadium, the A's have completely ignored Chinatown, be it from the environmental impact reports, traffic studies, even though the neighborhood is less than a mile away from what would effectively become a parking lot for the A's stadium, and really shut out the residents, immigrants, and refugees who utilize that neighborhood as a resource hub. We already suffer the highest air pollution because of the freeway and Posey Tunnel, as well as the highest rates of pedestrian vehicular deaths in the whole city. Our communities rely on Chinatown for their critical in-language services, groceries, faith-based health services, and really just a sense of belonging. We need the A's to fund a community benefits agreement that addresses the impacts of the stadium and to make sure that the operations of the stadium are compatible with communities that have been thriving there for generations, both Oakland, Chinatown, and Oakland more broadly. Yeah. We stand with communities across Oakland in demanding a benefits agreement That includes affordable housing, strong environmental protections, real traffic mitigations, and the recognition of existing neighborhoods that it's moving into. If this is done right and the A's stay the right way, the Howard's terminal development could potentially transform the Oakland's waterfront and provide the opportunity for Oakland and its residents by protecting Union Stadium jobs, creating new jobs, affordable housing, and a healthy environment and accessible transit. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Tommy Wong with Good Good Eats, TOMMYWONG. And because I rarely have a chance to do this, our town, our town, our town, our town, our town. All right, here we go. So Good Good Eats was created, I have 10 years of business district management experience in Oakland across districts and have started Good Good Eats as a response to the pandemic. We started off in Oakland Chinatown and continue across 5 different districts right now, helping food businesses and business districts strategize on how to pivot into the 21st century. The impacts of what has been happening in Chinatown recently cannot be understated. COVID, civil unrest, fires to buildings, anti-Asian hate, and rapid development, all happening in this neighborhood. It's incredible. We talk to businesses all the time who have to go through this, who have to decide every day to show up to work, to continue to feed and serve their communities. And it's tough. It's very tough. But this community, Chinatown, Eastlake, Little Saigon, Fruitvale, the Black Cultural Zone, these are all vibrant communities and cultural efforts that are taking place right now that the A's can really plug into. Yes, so a little bit about Chinatown. It is resilient. If you look at the sales tax data, every year Chinatown competes with Piedmont and Lakeshore in sales tax revenues. If you look it up, it does. Lower price points. It has the busiest park, the second busiest library, the busiest bus stop, the busiest pedestrian sidewalk in all of Oakland. It's a regional hub, not just for Chinese people, but for people of color, underrepresented people, immigrants, and everyone. It's a vital economic and cultural hub for Oakland. This is what the A's could plug into if they had a community benefits agreement. You know? So there are precedents of working with the community. Right now, there's a Chinatown BART station development right across from Laney College with Ibalsi and Strata that is really uplifting and trying to work together with the community to really emphasize and highlight that it's a vital cultural hub in Oakland. The stadium development has affected Chinatowns and ethnic communities across the country. Namely, Washington, D.C. is a cautionary tale of what happens when a stadium does not engage in a community benefits agreement with a district. It's only a couple blocks, right? You have Seattle, you have Los Angeles that are going through its own challenges, but with the help of a community benefits agreement, they have a chance to thrive and grow. And so we ask the A's to do the exact same thing here. This is so important to Oakland that tries to be a champion at all points for diversity, for inclusion, and for equity. Here's where the words have to meet the ground. And this is where the communities have to get together and work together with folks like the A's to make sure that all of our districts are vibrant and thriving into the future. Thank you.
We can chant anytime. So thank you all for being here. You've heard it. You've heard this testimony. You heard it from Oakland. We are the community. We are rooted in Oakland. And we are looking for a project that benefits Oakland because it's our town. The Oakland City Council will be voting on a term sheet for this project on Tuesday at their 9 a.m. council meeting. This is not the final deal, but it is an important step. And it will guide the negotiations to the final deal. So we're looking for our city council leaders to make sure there are community priorities that are part of the term sheet. those community priorities that you have heard today. So we are looking for the Oakland A's and their owners, the billionaire Fishers, to come to the table with the community so that we can get to a fair deal. We are encouraging the Fishers to stop playing hardball. Yes. To stop playing hardball. Yes. And start working with the people of Oakland. So this message is to those people. To send a message to Mr. Fisher and his representatives, Dave Carval, the president of the athletics, and to their whole organization. Say community benefit agreements and mean it. We are leaving these buckets of baseballs at the door to let them know what it means to be rooted in Oakland. These balls have our community benefits demands written on them. Play with that. Meditate on that. Incorporate that into your hearts. And sign on the dotted line. Because we're going to throw up a quick pocket line and rally for a few minutes and let them know that it's our town. Our town. Our town. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. We were just listening in on a press conference in Oakland, a rally rather. Activists were demanding that the owner of the Oakland A's take action to keep the A's in Oakland. As you know, they have been discussing the possibility of leaving the city. It's all contingent upon the Howard Terminal project and the completion of that. They are asking the owner of the A's to commit to the project and then also contribute private funds to that. We'll have a breakdown of everything they discussed for you throughout the day here on Chronon. But as we continue with our local coverage, the search for a missing East Bay man has shifted to a new location, Sunol. That's where search crews say they heard someone screaming for help overnight. It's now been 5 days since 37-year-old Philip Kraychik went missing.